LittleBigPodcast, episode 89. We're 1 week away from episode 90, 6 weeks away from our 2-year birthday.
That's absolutely crazy.
That is more than absolutely crazy.
Ooh, that means we'll have exams in a couple of weeks.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. Anyway, so,
oh, cool.
You guys may be wondering why it's been dark. Maybe not, but I was just kind of thinking how depressing it is that it's only 7:20 right now.
And then some of you are like,
yeah.
Why don't you film earlier so we can get it out? It's not that we're not filming early enough. It's just
it gets dark early now.
So don't be confused.
It's kind of annoying. I'm really glad we unplugged that.
Oh, I know, right? Okay.
Anyway, let's go ahead with our community levels now that we've kind of given you our cool little tidbit of the week. First off, wait, I forgot to tell you guys about another thing that we're doing. You guys don't really like the fact that we've been doing exclusively Little Big Planet 2 beta levels. So what we've decided to do is do 2 levels from Little Big Planet 1, and then 1 level each week from the LBP2 beta that we think is just absolutely exceptional.
So we're kind of not compromising necessarily, but we're
realizing
catering
that,
to the needs of the community.
Not all of you have the beta yet, so...
Yet.
Anyway, we'll get to that news later. First off, Nocturne by Ice Maiden.
Wow, this is crazy. Did you say it was a remake of a scene?
This was a remake of a scene in, I believe, Fantasia. So.
Wow. The art in this level is enough. Like, don't pay attention to the music right this sec. Just look at some of the art in this level.
It's incredible how they do this, and I wonder if they found a way to get like a Wacom tablet hooked up to the game. Probably not, but you know, it just seems like, how do you do that with just the analog stick cursor, you know? That's more patience than I have, more skill than I have for sure. And
I love my Wacom tablet.
I was just thinking of how neat this is to see in the game. I mean, you have artists, you have music people, and you have people who are just crazy good at designing logic. You have people, I mean, Little Big Planet is a very diverse community.
Like I said last week, it's turning into a talent show.
It is.
I mean, it's art, it's music, it's
just about everything. I mean, people who are really good at designing mechanics, all sorts of stuff. So it's really neat to see people and what they can make up, even, you know, as these final stages of Little Big Planet 1, trying to create things that you thought, oh, well, people won't be able to do that till Little Big Planet 2.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not slamming this level at all, but I'm just gonna say, the music sounds so much cooler in Little Big Planet 2.
It'll be so much easier to make. The sequencer has a lot less gaps in it, and not that the music was bad, just saying it's gonna sound a lot better once they if they redo this.
The music sounds real. I mean, it's amazing.
There are a lot of cool things that Little Big Planet 2 will enhance in all of these levels. Yeah. So, next up, Nocturna Supro by Angel Punishment. Now, I thought this was kind of weird that both of our LBP1 levels just happen to have Nocturna. But anyway, this level...
Does that mean night?
Yes, it does.
So, like, it fits.
There we go. It fits.
We did that on purpose.
Of course we
Wink.
did. So anyway, this level is an exceptionally awesome level because it has one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Upside down platforming.
Wow.
What? Yeah, for real. You're going in and it has, well, actually you're a good way into the level, and there are these platforms that are upside down. You're like, oh, okay. So you take a jump and, you know, obviously it's kind of glitchy, but still, there are these things that invisible things that shoot up and keep you pressed up against that thing.
Well, it's not super glitchy necessarily. It's just
it's not like gravity reverse.
The way they do it is a glitch, and it just seems unrealistic.
It is so crazy though.
Awesome.
It's the most unique thing I think I've seen in the games for a long time.
He said, "Hey, I have a new thing in my level." I'm like, "Oh no," because I knew this guy's good at this kind of stuff. I said, "What is it?" He said, "Upside down platforming."
We were like,
I said,
"No way."
What are you talking about? He said, "Just come see it." So I went in there, and he said, "Jump onto the platform." I'm like, "It's upside down." He said, "Jump." So I jumped, and it went up to the platform. I'm like, that is crazy. He told me how he did it. I don't know if I should share it necessarily.
No, definitely don't share it, because that's an Angel Punishment trade secret.
And then, like, this other part where the boss fight, it's like the bubble that just kind of floats up.
Yeah.
What is that?
I'm not really sure.
I'm not really sure either. I mean, I guess Little Big Planet 2 could be like a water emit thing, but
who knows?
Nothing that I know.
So, very cool level. Now, moving on to our Little Big Planet 2 featured level of the week, Da Vinci's Workshop by Backscratch.
This is a cool, hard, yet semi-glitched level. I'm gonna have to admit it is a little glitch, but that's not
his fault, right?
I don't know how many of you have heard of this, but it's called the God Mode glitch. You can save objects from story mode, pretty much anything.
So most of the materials that he built this level with, we don't have access to necessarily in the beta.
I think they're all stolen.
So anyway, it's completely technically legal, but you know,
Yeah.
you have to have the God glitch to do it. But anyway, very cool level. Obviously, just looks just like a story mode level, and it's
He
the
stole
first.
Da Vinci.
Right, he stole Da Vinci, but it's really
That's-
cool because he follows you around and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, it is.
And it has some really neat platforming aspects in it. There's one part towards the beginning of the level that I really liked, where it's two little L-shaped brackets, and they like come up, and you have to jump on one time to jump, so that when the other one folds out, you hit the other one just in time.
And the hard thing about that is, you look at it and you're like, oh, you can just time the jump just right. Well, you gotta wait till the last second and do it,
Right.
or else you'll come back down or bounce off the wall, and you're like, oh, it's frustrating.
But that's the fun part.
Yes, yes, it is.
And another thing that's kind of unique, well, it's completely unique that we've never seen in a level before. Good use of the mover tool.
Oh,
And
yes.
there's one part where you're coming across where he has a block that scoots forward a plane. And if you're not in one of the little gaps in the block, you'll get pushed off into an electricity pit. So I
Right.
was like, okay, that's really creative, because instead of having something that, you know, usually you're only working with one plane here, but
Now
instead
you can work with lots of planes.
Yeah, so that's a very neat obstacle that I'm sure many people will be using in the future. Okay, so that was our Little Big Planet 2 level of the week. I hope you guys are enjoying those. Some of you have been asking about create mode. How come you guys haven't shown anything from create mode? Well, actually we have. If you go to youtube.com/TheLittleBigPodcast, we uploaded all 15 create tutorials available on the beta, so you can go and watch those and learn about all the little, I guess,
New tools.
right, the new tools and each little aspect of them, instead of just
Right.
saying, oh, you have the Createnator, this shows, you know, how to work it and stuff like that.
And you can also go to LittleBigPlanetGalaxy.com, and all of the tutorials are there on a neat little page, and it's pretty
It's
awesome.
pretty awesome.
That's another good way to access it.
Alright, and I do believe we have 2 shout-outs. First one goes to Little Big Land. If you're watching us on Little Big Land, hi guys, thanks for watching.
Hello.
Hope you, if you're a new viewer, that you continue to watch new episodes every Friday. And I believe Little Big Land will be making our posts every Saturday. So
And I
check
guess
it out.
another shout out to Plaguechef. They
Right.
linked us. So, hi everybody. If you're watching from Plaguechef, we are honored that you would decide to Plaguechef on over and watch.
okay, yeah.
And if you are a new viewer, I don't know how many of you actually watched the contact thing at the end. So,
Right.
if you want to keep up with us,
Make
throughout
sure you
the
watch
week
the
and
last
news,
20 seconds of the episode,
yes,
because that's important.
all kinds of contact, all kinds of places.
I
to
spent
find
like an
us.
hour working on that graphic.
An
and
hour?
Some people probably, okay, maybe a little bit more than
a lot
And
more
some
than
of you
an
just
hour.
now, those of you who have been watching for 30 episodes,
I
I got
understand.
that. But,
Yes.
you know, the new viewers, don't skip out. There's some cool stuff up there. I mean, you might miss something like a code for $1,000. You know,
Not likely,
really.
but
maybe.
it's
Speaking
possible.
of Plaguechef, though, we do have an awesome Little Big Planet 2 trophy list. And we've decided to pick out a few of the trophies that we thought were just awesome and share those with you. If you want the full trophy list, go to Plaguechef.com. That's PLAGACHEF.com. And I think that's credit to them for the trophies and
Chimpanzee, and I think
a few
Little
other
Big
people.
Land has
right.
it posted too.
Okay.
So
So it's all over the place. So,
compiliation of everybody.
I forget how many trophies there are exactly. It's somewhere around 40 or 50.
Oh, it's a lot, dude.
So,
it's a lot.
The trophies that we picked out that we just thought were really cool and unique was Ace in Spades, and it's Ace 10 different story levels in a row.
Yes,
so
I think
that's
that
pretty
means.
difficult. I don't think it means you have to do it on your first try.
I think
but
it does.
You at least have to come back through and ace 10
when
levels
it says
in a row.
I think it means do that, do this, do this.
Well, I
And
think
if you mess up on one, then you have
You
to
can
restart.
you can ace a level. It's not like your first time ever acing the level, and if you don't ace it, then that doesn't. I think like if
You can go back. And,
you've already beaten if you've already aced the level, you can go back and ace it again. Then that will
yeah,
count.
I think so.
Anyway, that's a very
If not, that's
challenging.
gonna be so
That's
dumb.
a very challenging sounding trophy,
Next one is a game a day keeps the doctor away.
and that's for playing the game every day for an entire week.
Yes, and that's not
Which
gonna be
won't-
hard
I
to
was
do
gonna
at
say,
all.
That's not gonna be hard to do.
That's gonna be the easiest trophy. Everybody will have that one. Next one. Who needs breakfast? Play before 9 a.m. So
That's
would be a
one
fun
of the
one to
first
get.
time-oriented trophies that I've seen, and not that I'm a big trophy collector or anything, but I like collecting trophies. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is the first game that I've seen that has like a time-oriented trophy, like get up before 9 a.m. and play the game, or stay up. I think the next one is just one more play, and that's
just one more go.
Staying up past 9 to play a level, which isn't very hard.
So what happens if you stay up past 9 and
there should be like
9?
a true gamer trophy, like
that
staying up past midnight, which is actually still kind of weak.
And our next one is Turbo Slapper, and I don't think I have to explain what that one is.
I didn't think you were actually going to hit me. So those were the cool trophies that we picked out. Obviously, there are a lot more than that. Your standard ace all the levels, collect all the prizes in the levels, and, of course, the platinum. So you can check that list out, like we said a few minutes ago.
I think we should have a contest.
About
like
what?
When the game comes out, so you can get their platinum first. They have to take a picture of it.
You know that's going to happen.
That's going to be funny as mess.
Like, I think we have a pretty good shot.
It's going to take a long time.
It is.
Because, I mean, think about it. One of the trophies is 24 hours of active time in create mode.
Create mode.
You can't just leave it there. It has to be active.
So, I think it would be pretty sweet.
I think I'm going to tape down the square button.
We did that on Burnout once. We taped a car in a drift.
How many miles of drift was it?
I don't know. It was 3 million
something?
yards, however many miles that converts to.
It was a lot of
It was
yards.
crazy. I think it took 25 hours. We just left the car spinning on top of a
And then by the time we were done, the PS3 was like getting choppy.
It was so hot, too.
Oh, man.
I was like, uh-oh, I hope we didn't kill our PS3, but we didn't, so.
Yeah, that would have stunk so bad.
Alright, and the last piece of news that we have this week is an Alex Evans interview on MediaMolecule.com. And you can check that out. It's about 11 minutes long, and it's very current and up to date. So definitely watch that for some cool stuff.
You know, I think it's so funny that everybody was so shocked when they announced the sequel, and we've known that for how long?
A long time.
And it was public.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, we plan on expanding the franchise. We're like, oh, they're making a sequel, and everybody's like, no, he's talking about the PSP version. I'm like. No, he's not. He's talking about the sequel, and we've known that.
We have loads of LBP juice left over thing kind of gave it away, but hey, we're happy with it. So, speaking of the sequel, you guys all know by now that the sequel is pushed back to January 18th of 2011, which actually isn't too far away now. And speaking of which, let me look that date up. There's the beta news next week. I don't know if you read up on that.
No.
Maybe you check for it then.
Okay.
Beta. The codes for North America, well, I'm not going to put a date on this, but apparently the codes for North America are pretty close to going out, and the US PlayStation blog will have some information on that next week, so just be keeping your eyes on that. Probably not till Friday, since that's when the usual posts are, but the North American codes are pretty close, so all you guys just waiting. We'll finally get their codes pretty soon here, so.
Alright, and days until Little Big Planet 2. Now, this is really awesome and everything, but 103. Now, some of you are like, what? It was supposed to come out in like 30 days, and now it's bad. Suck it up. I mean, come on. You want a better game?
Don't worry.
I guess one thing that I can use as a
metaphor?
Comparison. That's the word.
You're looking for a big fancy word, and then you're like,
no.
Comparison.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about a bigger word, and then I'm like, comparison works.
Comparison works. I think, all in all, in the end, we're going to end up with a much more polished game, a much more fun game, and who knows, maybe a few extra early surprises for you guys, like we've been saying.
Never know.
Keep your eyes on our show, and, well, every Friday, and we'll try to keep you up to date with anything that happens with the beta. I have a pretty strong feeling some of you guys will be getting in very soon. So.
Yes. And January 18th?
January 18th, 103 days.
We have January 17th off of school, so we might hit a midnight launch or something.
Definitely.
That would be awesome.
So if there is a midnight launch, we'll have our camera and all that. So.
Yes, we will have our camera.
And who knows, if we have 3G in our town by then, we might be able to Ustream it. So, we'll see. I think we're supposed to be keeping it to Little Big Planet 2, so I guess we'll continue this discussion off camera. I'm Austin.
I'm Daniel.
And we'll see you guys next week. Bye!
Bye!